this edition of RPPV News. A manhunt in Frankston. The Selwyn fault line makes itself felt. And a councillor shoots down rumours of dissent. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPPV News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. Homicide Squad detectives are appealing for public help to locate Christopher Hillman following the death of a man in Frankston last week. Hillman is wanted by police after the body of a 34-year-old man was discovered in a house in Rassay Court last Saturday the 18th. The man's body was found when police visited the address to conduct a welfare check just before 10 p.m. The death is being treated as suspicious. Hillman is approximately 190 centimetres tall with a muscular build and a shaved head. He has a distinct tattoo across the front of his throat which says Chloe. Police have released an image in the hope someone can provide information regarding his current whereabouts. He is known to frequent Frankston, Seaford and the surrounding areas. Anyone who sees Hillman is asked not to approach him as he's believed to be armed and to contact 000 immediately. Just when we thought the year couldn't get any more apocalyptic, Victoria was hit by an earthquake this week that rated at 5.9 on the Richter scale. It caused some superficial damage to the Frankston Civic Centre and the building was evacuated with no injuries. According to a local seismologist, it's the biggest earthquake ever recorded on shore in both Victoria and New South Wales. Somers resident Professor Mike Sandiford is the head of geology at the University of Melbourne. He tracks seismic activity on the peninsula and spoke to RPPV straight after the incident. He explained the culprit responsible for shaking us so far from Gippsland was our very own fault line.
The Mornington Peninsula is subject to earthquakes. We pick up with our seismic network. I have seismometers in my house here at Somers, and we have about 30 seismometers across Gippsland. We pick up to about 10 earthquakes a year on the Selwyn, on or near the Selwyn fault. They're all very small. No one feels them. The magnitude 1 and 2 earthquakes. But occasionally, as I say, every 2,000, maybe 10,000 years, we would expect to slip with a big earthquake, a big rupture.
Meanwhile, Peterson's bookstore in Hastings was thrilled by the earthquake, as it meant they could finally put to use an instrument they've had for many years. The bookshop owns a Foucault pendulum, an instrument that demonstrates the Earth's rotation with a swinging motion. They were told that patterns made during an earthquake are unusual, and they were not disappointed. The machine usually forms an elliptical pattern in the sand. Here is an image of the pattern made by the pendulum during this week's wobble. The peninsula continues to lead the way in vaccinations, with 80% of the eligible population having now received their first dose. Frankston is also doing well at 70%. At the time of recording, we don't have any new exposure sites in Frankston or on the Mornington Peninsula, but we do have 3 new COVID cases on the peninsula, giving us a total of 16, while case numbers in Frankston remain steady at 14. Briars Ward Councillor Steve Holland has defended his right to express and bring his views to council. Speaking to RPPV this week, he responded to local print media reports that the council is toxic and discordant and that he likes to cause tension.
And I think the pressure of COVID and COVID lockdowns has caused some tension, but I think that's part of getting used to how each other prefers to work, the different styles, the different policy positions that we might have. And it's also difficult when a lot of our interaction as a councillor group is over Zoom or over Microsoft Teams and instead of face-to-face. It's difficult to get to know each other.
A major report by the Climate Council claims that more support and funding is needed to help local councils cope with the cost of climate change and climate-fuelled extreme weather events. Report author Professor Leslie Hughes said the risks and demands on local government will continue to increase as climate impacts worsen. The report estimates the cost to councils to fix eroding beaches and protect beachside property and infrastructure commonly exceeds $1 million annually, and in coming years could reach as high as $54 million per year. Some of the erosion has been so severe as to expose ancient reefs. Locals informed our crew that the sand hadn't been this low in 40 years. And in MP NFL news, Anthony Agius has signed a 3-year contract as senior tie-up coach. Agius was a premiership coach at Seaford Football Club in 2009 and took them to a grand final in 2010. He also coached East Brighton and was senior assistant at Rosebud. As a player, he won a premiership at Lalor, played in 2 at Edi Asp, once as captain, and 3 at Seaford. He played at Essendon and won a league best and fairest at Rosebud, while also kicking over 100 goals in a season. Tyab, which is a Division 2 team, has struggled recently and welcomed what they call a very exciting appointment and a promising start to 2022. After the break, we go to Patricia with the coming week's weather report.
There's a quiet revolution happening on the rooftops of Australia. And at Solar Heart, we're proud to be leading the charge. One home, one family, one solar panel at a time. Helping smart Aussies make a real difference to the planet, cutting their energy bills and connecting them to their smart energy future. Get smart, get Solar Heart.
RPPV and Bendigo Bank have a long-standing relationship. Without Bendigo Bank, we wouldn't have a transmitter site, we wouldn't have a studio, we wouldn't have an outside broadcast fan, and without them, we can't tell the stories that we think the Bendigo Bank community, our community, needs to hear.
Thanks, Bendigo Bank.
Thanks for your support.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Hello, I'm Patricia and welcome to this week's RPP Mornington Peninsula 7-day weather forecast. This week we are roaming a little further from home to visit Rosebud Beach. Spring has brought us a mixed bag weather-wise so far. Let's take a look and see what it has in store for us this week. Today, Saturday the 25th of September, grand final day, has been another mixed day with a touch of sun and rain. Today we reached a top of 12 and a low of 6. Sunday sees the showers easing. Expect a partly cloudy day with a 5% chance of showers across the peninsula. We will be looking for another top of 14 and a low of 5. Monday sees most of the rain passing to reveal a mostly sunny day. We can expect a chilly low of 4 and a warm high of 19. Tuesday sees a very cloudy day with showers developing. We should see a low of 7 and a high of 20. Wednesday, the 29th of September, sees another partly wet day. Expect a low of 10 and a high of 17. Thursday brings us more rain with a low of 10 and a high of 17. And finally, Friday brings a partly cloudy day with an 80% chance of rain. We should feel a low of 10 and a top of 16. Well, that's all for this week. Try to schedule your exercise time outside for between the showers, and we hope your team wins. Until next time, please remember to support your local businesses. Take good care.
And to our surf guru, Muzz, with the Surf Report.
Morning guys, Muzz here with this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. We've had a really good week of waves and we've still got a couple more days left. Today, Friday, still a bit of swell. Tomorrow it's going to arc up a bit bigger. Wind might be a bit iffy, then after that the swell's going to sort of trail off over the next week. It's going to be offshore about 70% of the time, so there's going to be waves. It's good for school holidays. If you can get in the water, you will get in the water. Crowds have been absolutely out of hand though, but it's what it is. We have to go surfing. If we can't go surfing, we haven't got much else. So hopefully you get in the water, and I'll see you next week.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Stay safe, use the QR codes and get vaccinated if you can. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.